Hello, this is Sara, Sach. Welcome to my YouTube crochet channel. Today's video, I'm going to show you how to make a sparkly snowflake. Now this measures about 2.5 inches, and you can make it into a ornament, or you can use it as an applique like I have on my headband. You can add it to a stocking or a scarf or a bag or anything you want to decorate with a beautiful sparkly snowflake. Now these two have been stiffened, and in this video I'm going to show you how to crochet this snowflake and then how to stiffen it up really easily. Now this is a free crochet pattern on my blog, and you'll also find the instructions for stiffening up your snowflake on that blog link as well, and you'll find that blog link down in the notes underneath this video. So for the first part of this video, I'm going to show you how to make these little snowflakes. Now you can make these out of any worsted weight number 4 yarn. I'm going to be using, I love this yarn with the sparkle in it. It's called metallic. It's just white, and this way I don't have to add any glitter or glitter spray, and I'll explain that to you when we go and do the stiffening portion of the video. But you can use any worsted weight number 4 yarn that you would like. To crochet our snowflakes today, we're going to use an H hook, which is a 5mm crochet hook. And then you'll need a needle for weaving in those ends. Now if you have some leftover cotton or worsted weight number 4, this is a great project to make some really cute Christmas ornaments or appliques. So go gather you up some yarn and your crochet hook, and we'll make some more snowflakes. To get started with our snowflake, we need to begin with our slip knot. And then we're going to chain 3 chains. Next, we're going to place 5 single crochets in the second chain from the hook. We'll put our hook in that second chain, pull up a loop, yarn over, and go through both of those loops. That's 1. So I need to make 4 more single crochets. So now I've made 5 single crochets. I'm going to join to the first single crochet with a slip stitch. So I'll put my hook through, pull up a loop, and pull that loop through the loop that's already on my hook. And then I'm going to chain 3. This chain 3 counts as the first double crochet of this next row. All right, for our next row, we're going to place another double crochet in the same single crochet as our chain 3, because remember, our chain 3 counts as our first double crochet. So we'll yarn over, go in that single crochet, and pull up a loop. You'll have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, go through the first 2, yarn over, and go through the second 2. Then we're going to chain 2, 1 and 2. Now in these next 4 single crochets, we're going to place 2 double crochets, and chain 2. All right, I need one more set of 2 double crochets. Whoops. There we go, and chain 2. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sets of 2 double crochet, chain 2, because remember our chain 3 counted as our first double crochet. We're going to join to the top of that chain 3 with a slip stitch. For row 3, we're going to slip stitch in that next double crochet and then slip stitch in the chain 2 space. And that just gets us over to our chain 2 space without having to flip our work over. Now we're going to chain 3. And then we're going to chain 3 more. The first 3 chains count as a double crochet. We chained 3 because we're going to stitch a picot stitch. So we're going to put our hook through that 1, 2, 3 chain, pull a loop through, and then pull that loop through the loop on our hook. And that makes a little bump. Now we're going to double crochet in this same chain 2 space. Our chain 3 counted as a double crochet. We stitched a picot on top and then we stitched a double crochet. We're going to chain 3. And now we're going to move to the next chain 2 space. We're going to stitch a double crochet, chain 3, slip stitch in the top of that double crochet, and then double crochet in that same chain 2 space. And then we'll chain 3. And that's how that should look. Double crochet with the picot on top, then a double crochet and chain 3. All right, so we need to do this 1, 2, 3 more times. There we go. Sometimes when you're stitching with the metallic thread going through, it does get caught, and that's what just happened. All right, so let's do the next 2. Double crochet, 1, 2, 3. Slip stitch in the top of the double crochet, and then double crochet again in that chain 2 space, and chain 3. All right, looks like we need to do 1 more. So there are our 5 points of our star. We've done our chain 3, and we're going to join to the top of that beginning chain 3 that counted as our double crochet. All right, so let's grab our scissors and clip our yarn. All righty, so we'll go ahead and tie that off, and we'll just take a minute. We'll turn it over, and we'll just take a minute to weave in our ends so they're nice and tidy. And as soon as I finish this, I'm going to show you how to stiffen up your snowflake so that you can use it as an ornament These would be beautiful on a wreath or any of your decorations for Christmas or even the New Year's, because snowflakes can be decorations for more than just Christmas. All right, let's do this little tail on the end here. Now, something to remember, if you're going to use this applique to sew onto something, you're going to want to leave yourself a pretty good sized tail. And so when you weave it in, you're going to probably want to just leave a tail so you'll have something to sew it on to your hat or your scarf or whatever you're using. If you're going to stiffen it up and use it as a decoration, go ahead and weave that end all the way in. And if you change your mind and you've already weaved it in, it's okay. You can always just add yarn and sew it on. It just makes it a little easier if you just leave the tail if you're going to sew it onto something. All right, so this is how you make just a simple little applique. It measures about 2.5 inches, depending on how tightly that you stitch. And this is our little snowflake. So now that we've made a snowflake, how do we make it stiff like this one so that we can hang it up on a tree, on a wreath, or for decoration? They also make good tags for packages. And so what you're going to need is you're going to need something to use as a board. You can use a blocking board. You can use styrofoam. This is just a thin piece of foam that my son gave me that something was packaged in, and he asked if I would like to keep it. And I thought it was perfect for this project. And if you don't have any of those, you can use a couple of hand towels spread out flat so that it's thick enough to stick a pin through. You're going to need some pins for shaping. And then you're also going to need some school glue. This is what I purchased. This is just regular old school glue. You can use Elmer's glue or whatever. Just make sure that it is the school glue that's the white glue. And what you'll do is you'll mix equal parts of water and the glue. Now I mixed 1/4 cup of glue and 1/4 cup of water, and I just stirred it up until it was nice and blended in well. All right, I've got a paper towel here so I don't make too big of a mess. And then I have a pair of these. I got these at the Dollar Tree, and you get a package of 3, and they're for serving hors d'oeuvres and things, but they work great for this project. I'm going to move this up a little. Here's the snowflake that I'm going to show you how to do this to. You just drop it in. Make sure you get it nice and wet, but you don't want it so saturated that it's drippy, okay? Shake it off a little, and I'm just going to lay it out there like that, and I'll move this out of the way. And then the next thing that you need to do is shape it. So I just got some straight pins. Here's the top. I want that nice and straight, and I used 5 pins per snowflake. And you can kind of stretch it out so it gets its shape. Now, if you're using just a regular yarn and you want to add a little sparkle, at this point, you can just get some regular glitter. I got this at Walmart for 98 cents, I think. And what I do, I just put a little in my hand because I don't want to over glitter. Now, the yarn that I'm using already has a sparkle in it, but if you want to add a little sparkle, this is the time to go ahead and glitter it up, because everything's wet, but just be careful not to over glitter. Okay, and then I just take a little piece of paper towel, rip one off for you here like this, and I'll roll it up, and I'll just sort of pat it down to make sure that glitter's going to stick good on that glue. Okay, and then I let this dry, and a really good place to put this is on your dryer if you're going to run a load of clothes. If not, just set it by the sun on a table. If it's nice weather, you can put it out back on your patio or something. I let them dry about 24 hours. Now, if you don't want to use this type of glitter and you want to wait until they're all done and dried, you can purchase a spray glitter, and this one is the one I like. It's the Krylon Glitter Blast. After they're all dry, I take them out onto the back patio or in the backyard, and I just give them a spray of this. And they have this in white, gold, and silver, and I want to say green and red, I think, but I don't know that I've seen it. I've had this one for a long time. I actually used it when my daughter got married about 10 years ago to spray some of her baskets for her girls in her wedding. So I've had that one for a long time. So once you've got them pinned and you've got them set someplace nice to dry, let them sit for about 24 hours. And then what I do is I loosen up the pins. This one's been drying 24 hours, and I turn it over and kind of fill it, make sure it's dry. If it's not dry, I'll just turn it back over and let it dry a little bit longer. And then if I want to spray some of the Krylon, I'm not going to spray it in here because I'm in my yarn room and I just don't want that smell and there's no ventilation. So that's how you stiffen them up really quickly. Now, some people like to add sugar to their mixture to make it sparkly, but I had a little issue with some mice when I added sugar to mine. So I'll just stick with the glitter and the Elmer's glue, or the school glue I mean, and water. Now remember, it's 1 part glue, 1 part water. Mix it up, drench them, lay them out, and let them dry. And you can make a whole bunch of them with just 1 little bottle of glue. And they make the best little ornaments. This one's dry. Oh, I pinned it there. And it's ready to be hung up on my Christmas tree or on a wreath. And they make great gift tags as well.